Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of the BulliesOut Podcast with me, your host, Jenny Radcliffe. Today, our guest, I'm delighted to welcome, is Andrew Brown, who is the CEO of now CSTEM System.
Yeah, CSTEM Systems Plus Techniques equals Effective Management. So we're not stem cells or stem flowers. We're providers of cybersecurity and ICT solutions.
So I saw this. So the website is
-STEM. So it's communication.
Yes.
STEM. So Systems Plus Techniques equals Effective Management.
And is that .com?
.co.uk actually.
.co.uk. So it's c-stem.co.uk. So go and see that because interesting company doing interesting things in the space. But Andrew, you first of all, tell us a little bit more about what you do as part of that company, what the company does before we get onto your support for BulliesOut.
Yeah, we're involved with supporting organisations across public and private sector with their digital transformation journey. So just ensuring a secure and consistent user experience for this, particularly challenging around this work for anywhere movement, which is a subset of digital transformation. We've all got used to this new way of working, so we're at the forefront. We work with NHS, utilities, as well as central government, local government. Education is a big area for. Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, we're working with a number of universities. Higher education is a specific area. So yeah, great. And enough about us anyway.
I just was interested because obviously, there's a digital side to all of this. So maybe we'll talk about that in a minute.
We did donate a bit of a IT kit to BulliesOut prior to us getting involved as a full-blown sponsor.
Okay.
So we have, we're keen to support them in that area with any expertise they need to make sure that they can reach out and connect and do any of those things. So any further assistance they want, we'd be glad to give them.
Yeah, because that's what. So like, how did you first learn about BulliesOut, and then I'll talk to you a bit more about that side of it.
Well, there's a couple of things that stars aligned, a couple of things together. My wife's heavily involved with the NSPCC. One of the gentlemen who's works with Kathy both in the school service and on in other areas of NSPCC. Works for BulliesOut in the school service there. A gentleman called Steve, and he's a very passionate guy. He's very skilled in his capabilities for the awareness that they're pushing into schools. And I'm just really for people of that type. So that was an introduction, and also one of my work colleagues, who's actually my head of engineering, Mike, was unfortunately a victim of bullying himself at school, and one of the other clubs that we're a member of, he made BulliesOut his charity. It didn't actually, because it was the pandemic that year, it didn't raise as much as he wanted. So I said, look, Mike, let's make it our company one, and let's have a go, see if we can raise some more money for the guys to support the good work that you're already doing there. So it was two angles came together at one. The stars aligned, and we thought, let's make BulliesOut our charity for the year. And as I've come to learn more about it, becoming more involved, it's certainly a great charity to be involved with. And if we can impact somebody's life in a positive way, then that's as much as we can wish for, and that's our objective in raising money for them at the moment. So,
I mean, that's so nice of you to do, and the same with me. When I saw it, I just thought, what's really striking to me is when you say about Mike, and you see all the people that I interview for the podcast and people that you meet, that people went to the bullies at school, they never forget it. When they become adults and they become more capable, have more resources, they use it to fight back, because I guess people know how much it can affect their lives.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the unusual position. I actually know the guy, or one of the leaders of the people who bullied Mike as well. And as I said, and he became an international sports star. And I know him well, and I'm sure he'd be traumatized to think of the impact that he had on someone's life in those earlier years. And so I think it's the way that BulliesOut is approaching it, this awareness and education across the part is definitely the way to go, and not have it as such a taboo subject as it was in the past. And make everyone in the community work together to explain what's acceptable and not acceptable behaviour.
Absolutely. And one of the approaches Bullies Out takes is that they don't just deal with people who are the target of bullying, but they deal with the bullies themselves and with people who were bystanders, who don't intervene. I remember times at school I saw really terrible bullying, and once or twice it kind of just it wasn't even fear, I don't think. I just didn't really even work out what was going on until it was way too late, and that stayed with me, let alone being the person who was at the end of that bullying. Yeah. And you're quite right, I think, Andrew, I think when people realise what in a teenage head or in a child's head, or even actually in a grown adult's head, although I have less kind of personal kind of leeway for that, I give less kind of leeway for that. It might just be banter or jokes or whatever, you don't know how that affects the person at the end of that joking and banter, as it were. And so Bullies Out do address the issue not just for the targets but for the bullies and the bystanders as well. And you can support that if you're listening to this podcast. You can become a member for just £5 a year. You can go on and you can buy Bullies Out merchandise, and there's also lots of free resources and classes and things at BulliesOut.com. So yeah, the thing that interests me though about this is with yourself, it's that tech support as well, because I guess, Andrew, we're living in a time when, needing that sort of tech support to do something about this has never been more pertinent, has it? What with everyone's life being online. Can you tell us a little bit more about that side of it and what was needed?
Well, as I say, Mike, who he's social digital engineering, so that so social media is obviously an area where cyberbullying and etc. can take a grip, so we don't have to wait to go into the playground now. But from my perspective, it's awareness, it's about communicating, it's about using digital tools in the positive way. Obviously we need to it's giving people, I think you touched on the right point there. It's the point where, whether it's on social media or whether it's in the playground or wherever it is, if you see bullying, it's having the strength to speak out and make people aware. And I think that is, in any arena, any environment, that is our number one objective, really, is to capture the pattern of behaviour which leads to bullying, and then catch it early. So it's not my particular field of expertise, capturing within social media environment, but I'm sure with what I do know is that those patterns of communication, we do look at big data now. We can see and people with AI is a great thing, artificial intelligence, and this definitely. The power, the big companies that are running these social media platforms need to take a lot more responsibility, because they do have the capability to intervene, and in a positive way. I know with NSPCC, you don't want to breach confidence, and you've got all these, there's all of the privacy and all of those important factors to take into consideration. But there are now enough evidence of what patterns of behavior lead to issues. Absolutely. And and this needs to be captured by and as I said, I put the onus of responsibility into the people who make a lot of money out of the platforms.
Well, this is what I was just going to say, Angie. I'm interrupting you now, but I was going to say, there's massive resources, and there's things that are clearly harmful, and I think if it's reported, it should be investigated.
Exactly.
They've got the resources to make sure that if I so much as think, don't even seem to have to say it out loud, if I so much as think of cooking I was thinking about cooking a tagine, and I mentioned one of those tagine little witches hat things that you used to cook. I don't know what the real name's, tagine dish, and suddenly on Facebook and all my social media there were suggestions of Moroccan food and Moroccan dishes, Moroccan clothing. So I think Andrew's point, to your point, is it's very pertinent to say, well, we need to use some more of that to tackle it, because of course it does come from physical bullying and in the classroom onto the online world. The kids are all online. We all live our lives online. And so I think that's so nice that we've got a company like yourselves supporting and fundraising for Bullies Out, because there is that link in it. Even if nothing else, it just makes that link between the digital side of this and the human, the in real life side, if you like.
And the more we make other people aware that intelligence and capability is within the power of the platform developers and the people who are running and have to have those social responsibility parameters set upon them, then the power of the people, we can then enforce the issue to enable just people to be in control of their communications, where to be safe is the key factor. Whilst there's responsibility with parents as well, to ensure that the social media time is controlled and etc. But whilst you're in that environment, you need to be able to trust that your children are safe and not just
or
children,
at least that like when something goes wrong, it's going to be taken seriously and acted upon. I mean, I think that's the thing. In my role, I've worked with people where the very worst has happened due to social media abuse. I wouldn't say it was bullying. I think bullying, however serious bullying can be, we know it can be very serious. This went way beyond bullying, but you see that it's a real thing. Yeah, I know certainly at my age, I feel like at my age, like it's easier we didn't grow up with it in our hands. So it's still easy to kind of see it as a little bit it's not quite real, but it's very real if you're in the middle of it. So what sorts of things do CSEM do to raise money for Bullies Out and I know you're raising awareness.
Yeah, well, we're on the 4th of December, we are abseiling off of Newport Transport Bridge. So we have... today I just checked online. I mean, we're just ramping up sponsorship for that at the moment, but we've got, I think, about £550 to £585 committed there. But we will significantly blow our target for that out of the water.
So we need to get this out quite quickly. So we're recording this early December, sort of, a little bit, sort of not mid-December, sort of around about the 10th or so.
But we're also going to do
rather.
Cardiff half marathon in March, which was delayed, so this is why we're doing the
very active fundraising events. We like say bake cakes and things.
It's all of us trying to lose weight. That's all it is, Jenny.
I was going to say, me baking and eating cakes would be much more. I'd be more effective. I'd be a world champion at that. I'd raise thousands. Now, I was looking at the abseiling as well, but I just couldn't diarise. I just couldn't tie it up with a few other things just because of where it is. It's a bit of a hike for me, work-wise. But how many of you are abseiling?
I think there's 10 or 12 of us. It's around that number out of the company. So
does that mean you are as well?
I'm on it. Yeah, I'm definitely going abseiling. So
have you abseiled before?
No, never. No.
Oh well, good luck. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. We've got our purple t-shirts. We've just had our team photo with the t-shirts, so we're good to go. And we'll need some jackets though, because it rains sideways in Newport, so it's not. We're thinking that we're abseiling straight down vertically, but it might be that there might be a good wind keeping us out at an angle. I think when we.
To get from that distance and then to have it, but in a way that'll be part of it because. Yeah. And we'd encourage people, we just want to say again, if you go to BulliesOut.com and just look, there's lots of things you can do to fundraise. And if abseiling and running half marathons and marathons sounds a little bit too full on for you, you can contribute by buying merchandise. There's t-shirts, there's badges, there's challenges for the little ones. And also, if you think that you'd like to address this in your workplace, there's lots of resources, free and otherwise, that means you can support the charity and, help to tackle this issue. Yeah. Andrew, I wish you you and your colleagues.
Thank you.
It makes me laugh because you're the boss. So if you're going to do it, they've all got to do it as well. Really.
Well, the thing is, my daughter's doing it as well, who's doing some part-time work for the company. So so we've got it. So that's so I can't back out. I think So.
And it kind of forces everyone else to do it. So I wish you the very best of luck on that. And on behalf of Bullies Out, I'm not here to speak for them, but I'm sure that they'd like us to say thank you for the support from yourself and the company, from CSEM, all about this, because it does matter that they get corporate sponsorship, ladies and gentlemen. We can all sponsor a few pounds here and there to see Andrew and his colleagues abseil off the bridge, but really it's corporate sponsorship that really helps the charities, do their work and spread the message as widely as possible, so support's great and everything else, but money would be great as well. So if you do run a company and you're looking for corporate sponsorship opportunities, there's Andrew, CEO of CSTEM, who has taken that as their company charity, and I think that's amazing. So thank you very much for being part of the show, Andrew, and we will put links to your abseiling off the bridge and everything else.
Well, yeah, we've got a link. We've got a Just Giving page set up, so I'll make sure Gail provides you with all of the details. But
so we will have that link, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to this, that link will be underneath the show notes wherever you listen to this podcast. There will be the links to that page, and we are recording this early part of November. I think I was a bit confused when I said before. I said December because the year's just disappeared, but this has been recorded early part of November, so there will be plenty of time for you to contribute. Just a few pounds is great, but a lot more pounds would be even better. So find the link and contribute to the Just Giving page. This man is going to be abseiling off a massive bridge in December. Thank you so much for being part of the show, Andrew, and the very best of luck. Maybe we'll revisit it when you've done it and see how it went.
A real pleasure, and thanks to everyone for any contributions that they give to BulliesOut. Thank you.
Thank you.